Hi, I'm Lise Colucci, and I'm one of the life coaches at Queen Being. I'm here to help you with some live video coaching as you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. As always, we are doing a live stream today, so any questions that you might have, go ahead and join in whenever you feel like it. But what I'm going to talk about today is change. One of the necessary ingredients for creating a life that you want is that you have to be open to and welcoming of change. Change is inevitable, and it's part of healing. So I guess I would ask, how open and receptive are you to change in your life? It can be pretty scary. I know for a lot of people, there's a lot of things that block them. What do you think blocks you from change? For some people, it's things like fear of like the unknown or like what if thinking. My dog is I gave her a bone to be quiet. Okay. So I give her a bone and she is playing with the bone. I may have to get up and move that. That's ridiculous. I'm thinking she'll be quiet and lay there and chew it. No, she's trying to dig it into the bottom of a hard surface. Anyway, is anyone in here with me? Say hi if you are. And is the chat even working today? I'm going to type something. Hi, anyone here? I see 3 of you are here. And if you are here, can you just say hi? Okay, good. It's working. It wasn't working the other day, and now I'm afraid it's never going to work. So anyway, what blocks you from change? Things like fear of change itself. What's on the other side? Hi, James. What else is there? You know, what's there besides what you already know? Even though we don't want the thing that we already know, sometimes it's just terrifying to make any changes. Another thing that can block you from change is a loyalty to things in your life that are not good for your growth. So in other words, things like jobs and people and being really clinging to the loyalty that you feel for those things and not seeing that sometimes letting them go is important or making changes within them sometimes. Hi, Deborah. Set patterns of thinking. Anna, is it Anna? I think it depends on if it's change for the better or not. Right, I'm talking about the change that's needed. You know what? Can you hear that dog noise? It's ridiculous. I swear there's always something. Okay, I disappear for 30 seconds and I come back. Nope, you lose your toy. Okay. It's always something in my life. She's ridiculous and funny. Anyway, fear of the unknown. Absolutely. That's a big one. And I'm talking about the type of change that's needed for growth. So can you guys hear me? I have the microphone on the other side. Why does it matter with me? Get it together. Okay. Anyway, so set patterns that you set in your life can be hard to break. And a lot of times so survivors, sometimes we feel we're super adaptable people. We're super flexible. We're super good at going with the flow because we're so used to adapting to other people's needs. That is not actually change. That is your own pattern, right? Because that's what you do. Change for growth is good. Yes, change for growth is what we're talking about. And it's funny because sometimes, like if you say it like that, then of course you want that, right? But sometimes it can be really hard to let go of things that you need to let go of or make changes that you need to make, like beliefs. I will get to that in a second, in order to make the change that's needed for growth, or to allow it rather. So the set patterns, like I was saying, can be, or set ways of thinking, limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are huge, and we need to be able to let go of them and change them, right? And allow a different belief to get inside of our minds and our emotions so that we can make the changes needed to improve our lives, right? So the other thing that I was thinking is a lack of self-worth. You know, that kind of goes along with the whole package of being a survivor, right? Where self-worth is knocked down, and building that up can open you up to change. It can eliminate some of the fear that you feel. So those are some things. that I was thinking. Anyone have any questions today? Go ahead and ask me anything. It doesn't have to be related to this topic. I'm just opening with topics so that I'm not sitting here waiting for questions. And I give you some information that might be helpful and may speak to someone that needs to hear it today. So let's see. So some of the things that can help you are let's talk about limiting beliefs, really. Familiarity. Yeah, familiarity. That's what I'm talking about, Deborah. The familiarity of the patterns that we have, the routines that we have, can be really hard to break and terrifying to break and totally necessary sometimes, right? And also the way we cling to our beliefs. Many of the beliefs we have are so self-limiting that like having a mindset of survival. It's so necessary when you're in the process of being abused and having a life filled with toxic people. A survival mindset is like 100% necessary, right? That's what keeps us going and gets us through. But to continue on with that and to keep that as your belief system can trap you in a survival mindset, like I think I talked about last week. So, and I think for myself, like the fear of change, I didn't realize I had it until I noticed it. And then I was, what? All right, got to work on this because it's not in that I'm not flexible personally, or and a lot of people will talk about how they're super flexible. But wow, you have some interesting accents going on all your E's, Deborah. Yes, so many have been a part. Oh, I can't even read it because of them. That's so funny. So many have been a part of who we are for so long, right? The beliefs. Well, they are a part of who we think we are, right? Because we operate based on who we think we are. We don't operate based on what the world sees or what other people believe about us. Well, we kind of do if it's negative and we've been fed it. It's also if it's positive. If you have enough people, hi Shastina, if you have enough people believing in you, it's a lot easier to believe in yourself, right? I know. What's up with your keyboard, Deborah? James says, I kind of like it, but it was really weird to read. Like, what is that? So interesting. So, breaking old habits and changing your beliefs, how do you guys work on that? Or do you? Or what helps you? For me, it helps to affirm the opposite, to speak to myself the way I want my life to progress. You know what I'm saying? Instead of speaking to myself through the voice of programming, to speak to myself through the voice of what I want to have happen or that I expect my life in the way in which I want it to go. Does that make sense? And that can be difficult and it can feel artificial, but really it's not, because it does either way. You're creating the reality that's around you on some level. And no, we're not creating abuse, right? But when we're out, when we're away, even when you're in it, believing the negative limiting beliefs are going to do nothing but hold you in their grip. So guys, talk to me. Well, who's here and wants to talk about something else? Because I'm going to run out of steam on this topic, monologuing. I don't do the monologue well. Wish I did. I should go to monologue speaking school, but not my thing. So talk to me. Anyway, beliefs okay, here's some beliefs that as survivors, you may feel. I hear it all the time, and I wish that I could get inside people's minds in the sense that to help them see that these beliefs are limiting and not going to help their lives. I'm a narc magnet. That's a big one. People say it all the time. I'm an empath, therefore I'm a narc magnet. It's totally untrue. Okay, you're only a magnet if you choose to keep your polarity turned toward people who, in other words, if you're reacting to someone who is toxic in a way that is at all supply, then yeah, you might be in that instance. But when you gray rock, when you refuse to give supply, when you learn things like red flags and how to turn away from toxic people quickly, you are not a narc magnet. The thing is, narcissistic people are attracted to anyone who will give them supply. And because most empaths or most people who are not toxic, well, okay, because most empath, let's put it that way, are the type of people who are willing to engage and connect with other people. It's the perfect supply. That does not make you a magnet. What it makes you is a person who's able to connect with people. And we have to learn how to stop thinking we're the magnet and start realizing they're the problem is letting these people in our lives, and stop it, and find the red flags and get, learn them quickly. So, hello, Emily Ray. And James is soaking his feet. That's excellent. Darla, hello. Superstar. For me, no contact helped me with cognitive dissonance and the confusion. Good. It does help with that. It helps with a lot of things. No contact is for you. No contact is to keep you focused on yourself and to help you break the trauma bonds. So that's good that it helped with those things, because cognitive dissonance is a huge part of trauma bonding. So I'm glad that helped you. Shastina, my daughter called Narcula Dad after not talking to him for 1.5 years to say what she wanted to. She wants us to do a 3-way call together for her to moderate. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't know whose idea. No, no, no. That's triangulation, my friend. No, no. No. I mean, she can want all she wants, and that's sad that it has to be this way, but that is not your fault nor her fault that it has to be this way. No, that's not safe for anyone in this situation, except him, right? Because I don't know what her intent is, but it's not going to get her what she wants, because if what she wants is some kind of reconciliation, that can't happen. Things have to be as you need them to be. And how old is she? Shastina. Emily Ray, I'm trying to remind myself that I am not what happened to me. You are not what happened to you. You are so much more. That's so true. But who I choose to be because it happened. I still struggle with not feeling guilt of reactions to abuse. What do you mean by that? You struggle with not feeling guilt of reactions to abuse? You mean not taking care of yourself while you were in it? Is that what you mean? James says he made the water too hot and hope it doesn't hurt your feet. I hope it doesn't too. That would not be comfortable tomorrow. Deborah says, don't do it. I'm assuming to Shastina. Yeah, don't do it. James, what are you doing? You got my curiosity up with hot water, and he's soaking his feet in a little foot tub. He says, I have a tub and I put bath salt in and water, and he's soaking his feet in the water. Anna, I always thought I was a narc magnet, but learning now there's just loads of narcs around. There's just loads of toxic people around. We can name them what we want, but there's tons of people who will use you, toxic or not. I mean, toxic behavior in people is pretty common. And to be able to block toxic behavior, we have to recognize it. We have to recognize when it's a healthy amount of somebody needing something from you, and when someone's just being needy, or when it's a healthy amount of friends do things for each other type of thing, and when it's somebody using you. So learning that, can help you a lot, but it isn't so much, I don't believe we're magnets. People will say that we are. I don't buy it, because that gives you no power and no control over your own life. You are not, that just doesn't make sense to me, because once you learn red flags, these people do not need to get into your life. I mean, will one slip in? Maybe, but that doesn't make you a magnet either. It just means someone is way more covert than we thought, right? But Deborah says boundaries are so important. They really are. And I'm assuming you're meaning to Shastina. Super important. And if you've set up and established something, Shastina, with the ex where you don't speak to him, or that you speak to him individually if you need to, that's the way it needs to be. And your daughter really needs to not be involved in that, because that type of triangulation is a big old mess, Emily Ray, like what I realize now, fighting back, but just those moments when I felt I couldn't take it anymore. So instead of shutting down, I started fighting back. Oh, okay. So you feel guilt about that. You feel guilt that you fought back and saying nasty stuff. You know what? That's what they do. They create a situation. So when they say things like my exes were all crazy, there's a reason. It's not that people don't react. When you react to a narcissistic tantrum, it's generally one you either learn to gray rock really well, or you get worn down to the point where you start having reactions that are nothing like you'd ever do to anyone in your life, right? So, yeah, like you said, Emily Ray, being someone I never thought I would be. I understand, but memories don't feel good. No, they don't. They don't feel good. If it helps to know that that's anyone who's been in longer than a couple years. I don't know how long you were with them, but anyone who's been with someone that is toxic to the degree that a narcissist is, with the type of manipulation and gaslighting that they do when they argue, fight with you, whatever, when they cause problems, and the way they communicate 8 years. Yeah, see, this is what happens. They the lack of mature communication to people who want mature communication and need it, like, so people that are not toxic, the lack of having it in your relationship is the most frustrating thing in the world. Plus, you're being gaslighted. Plus, you're being projected on. Plus, you're the blame shifting. Plus, nothing you say matters. And this is just like without any actual, like, this is all undetectable, so to speak, abuse. I'm not even talking about when people name call and when there's actual like threatening things happening. I'm just talking about the basics of your basic narc. When all of that happens, it is crazy making. It will make you feel, it'll tip you over the edge. And basically the world that the narc is they create the world around them, right? So through their manipulative tactics, they create a situation where we have reactions that are they're far beyond anything. They're the most emotional, reactive reactions that you can possibly imagine. And yeah, we look crazy. And so then they can say, my ex was crazy. You see, their exes weren't crazy. I mean, maybe some of them, whatever crazy is, but that's what they say, right? So you can see why it makes sense. It's this whole cycle. And it's not just you, Emily. It's pretty much everyone who's been with them for any duration. You get to a certain point where you're so confused and wound up and like so lost in it that's it. You just flip, right? Let's see, Shastina. Sorry, my cell totally locked up and froze. That's okay. After you said no, it's triangulation. I just barely popped the battery and got it to come back up. Oh, okay. So I said it's triangulation, not translation. That's okay. Can you, okay. Hopefully you hear me now. I said, what did I say? Triangulate. Oh, that a three-way conversation with him is basically triangulation. You don't want to involve your daughter in that. Even if she's doing it, she doesn't know what she's doing by asking that. And I don't know why she's asking it, nor do you. And I asked how old she was. And so I know what level you can talk to her about this, but whatever you have set up with your ex right now is what it needs to be for you. And that it really is not her place, nor it's not going to get her what she wants, I think is what I said. It's not going to get her, I don't know what it is she wants, but all it's going to get is more stress to have a three-way conversation. There's no reconciling or no fixing anything. And I don't know what her aim is. So her hopes are. Superstar. I agree. Magnetism implies there's a power outside your control of a situation. Know the flags and enforce the boundaries. Uh-oh. I don't know what's happening. Can you guys see me? I'm having internet issues and I may be being dumped off the internet. Deborah says, I'm crazy to have stayed with him for 12 years. No, you're not crazy. You're wonderful. You are loyal. There's all kinds of reasons. It feels crazy looking back, but there's all kinds of reasons we do it, right? And trauma bonds and all kinds of things. She says, Shastina says, my daughter's 22 and has been triangulated before with Narcula, and I was estranged for a while, right? So if she's 22, I think you can talk to her pretty directly and say, I don't think it's a good idea. Your father and my relationship's our own business, and my relationship with you is where I want to focus. Something like that. My relationship with you is more important to me than anything, and I do not wish to bring him into it. There's nothing the three of us need to say together. End of sentence. something short to the point that also validates you see me. Okay, good. Most have been toxic. Oh, James says the tough thing is my exes have been toxic, but I've said they are crazy, so it makes me think now. Well, most of them have been toxic from my point of view. I'm talking about when they say that. I mean, they will say it, and then you meet the person and you can't see why they're like, if you know them, you're like, what? Anyway, or if you hear it said about you, it's just that's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying it doesn't feel that way the other direction. Emily Ray James, right? It's like they say the same thing about us, and then we get confused. I've been told the difference is that I reflect while the narc projects. Exactly. We are a reflection of the. Often, if you're a sensitive person, or an empathic person, or a person with highly sensitive or a more emotional based person, you reflect the states of those around you because you are tuning in with your empathy, right? The difference is a narc will project. That's right. They're good at sensing what is going on around them and hiding their own truths by projecting it back onto you before you can even question them. So Shastina says, thank you, because that's exactly how I feel. I just couldn't verbalize that to her at the moment because I was taken aback by the call. Good. Yeah, I believe that's, I mean, I wouldn't want to do that. So, and I wouldn't want to hear you do that. I think it would be harmful for you and your daughter together. You could ask her what she hopes to have come from something like that, and see if there's some way to help her understand. I mean, I don't know what it is she needs, and it doesn't sound like you have talked to her about that yet either. So, James says, I've told women before dating them, my ex was crazy. Maybe don't do that. That's, Shastina, Narcula told that to all of his friends. And then when they met me, they were so surprised at how nice of a person I was and that I wasn't anything at all like he described. Exactly. But you see, when they make it so, when they drive you to the point of, like Emily was talking about, completely lashing out back at them, it certainly does. Because usually what happens, and tell me if I'm wrong here, Emily, you get to the point where you're lashing out, freaking out, screaming, crying, whatever it is you're doing. And suddenly they're stone cold and staring at you like you're insane. Like, what's gotten into you? Or they give you the silent treatment, or they walk away and act abused, right? Does that happen? Anybody else have anything today they want to talk about? Okay, and Lise, is it possible for me to join one of your online support groups? How would I go about it? Yes, I have two. Do you mean the coaching groups? The coaching groups, I have two starting next week. One is evolving, inner transformation and evolving. So that is, basically you kind of have a grip on the stuff with the narc, and you just want to improve and grow your own life so that this stuff doesn't happen to you again, and so that you can evolve really and move beyond all of this and use what you have had happen to you to become the person that you wish to be. There's that group. That's on Wednesdays. And then the other group that's starting next week is self-care. So it's pretty much helping you to get your focus completely, as much as you can, off of the narcs and onto yourself. And is looking at where you personally need help with self-care, because self-care is not just a thing you do, it's a lifestyle. And once you get that going in your life, then going back into the things that are more difficult, you have somewhere to turn to help you not feel like you're free falling. So just let me know. You can contact me here, or it's Coach Lise, CLISEC, at gmail.com. You can contact me there, or you can find me on Facebook, and I can set you up. I'll put the link. If someone has the link to the group, James, maybe. If not, I will put the link at the end on the main section underneath. You know what I'm talking about? To the groups. Anyway, I think it's on all of them anyway. Let's see. Shastina says, I will ask her. I think it might be an interesting conversation, don't you? Emily Ray, I've read that victims will speed up the abuse cycle by provoking the abuse so they can get to the honeymoon phase already. Oh, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. And I can imagine it. I'm sure it's pretty common to do that. We're smart and we learn, even if we don't know that you're being abused per se, because it's so under the radar as narcs can be, especially if they're very covert. You do learn patterns. So you learn that when he's this way, or she's this way, then this happens. And whenever it gets to a certain point and then it gets really bad, then they're really nice again. I mean, is that familiar? And we learn this even without realizing that it's abuse cycle. And so, yeah, I can see wanting to provoke it and speed it up to make it better. And like I said, narcs create the worlds around them. They orchestrate it through the way they behave. And that's part of it. Shastina says, oh, I know that very well. Emily Ray says, I saw how I do that. It's sad. Yes. Like, okay, let's get it over with. But I didn't even realize what I was to do. Yeah, doing it. Exactly. Because it's not something like, it's not tangible almost. It's so, well, it's covert, it's so under the radar, a lot of this stuff. Shastina says, sounds good, evolve. Yes. I don't think it let you, I'll post the link. That's okay. I'll post it afterwards in the main section, unless I do it in time to post it in chat here. I'll try to do that too. Sounds good for both of them. They're great groups, and the people in them are what makes them great as well. We have really amazing people in the groups that support each other like crazy. So anyway, Justina says, I heard on a video, we speed it up. When we learn, the sooner we blow up, the sooner we get it over with. That's right. We're as conditioned. I mean, it's conditioning, right? It's all programming and conditioning. That's how they operate. They operate by manipulating situations so that they are conditioning you to behave in certain ways. They need the lows as much as they need the highs. They don't want to idyllic. They may say they want things drama-free and peaceful, but that is not the case. Okay, they need the negative attention. They need to go into their own hurt so they can avoid it all over again and control it. It's kind of a sick cycle. It's because there's the lack of empathy creates a lack of self-awareness. There's the blurry again. It's exciting when it does that. A lack of self-awareness that then, they can't evolve past it. So, hi, Cindy. You're late, but you're here. That's okay. Nice to see you. Emily Ray, there's a song by Transviolet called Undo that speaks to this very well, if anyone's interested. Oh, I'll have to look it up. Anything else, you guys? Cindy, how you doing? Any questions for today? Have a few minutes before I've got to end this. Main section. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Where when you open it, like if you were to open this after the chat closes and there's a description at the bottom that talks about whatever I type in there. You know what I'm saying? Not the chat on the side. I'm pointing like you can see what I'm doing, but not in the chat. I'll try and post it because I think once I close this, the chat closes sooner than I can get to it ever. The about section. Maybe that's what I'm saying. I can't see it unless I open another page, and then you just have to be watching me open computer pages. I'll get you the info somehow. If you go to Life Makeover Academy, the coaching groups are on there too. So they are under, if you look up all the courses and then look up my name and the authors, you'll see, if you just click my name in there, it'll show up. It's there's a lot of stuff there. So that might be more confusing to send you there, but it's there. It sounds like we are lab rats. Well, kind of, right? It's like, I think it's just that they are so controlling and so manipulative, and they can't handle actual interactions and actual connection and communication with other people. So they orchestrate everything by manipulating and gaslighting and projecting and basically creating the same thing over and over again, you'll notice. Even like I say that, just because someone has new supply and they look happy doesn't mean they are. And if someone will say, yeah, but I'm going to make up something like, oh, they take her on vacation and they never did that with me. Well, it's because she doesn't have an issue about vacation and you did. Her issue is something else and they're manipulating there. So it's just a repeat with slight differences. Right. Justina says, oh, okay, I get it. Right. Yeah. But again, we're not magnets for them. I don't believe it. You can change that. If you believe it, change that belief, because who wants to be that? How about being, I was told, be Teflon instead. Stop being a magnet, be Teflon. That's all you got to do is believe it. Emily Ray, doing it now, Lise. I'm excited to sign up. How big are the groups usually? Not super big. It depends on which one. Depends on what time. Like sometimes in the morning groups, they're a little smaller. The evening groups, I don't know. I want to say 6 people. I think we've had a few more once in a while, sometimes 4 people. It just depends on the night and which group. Right now, self-care is not real big, so that's the Tuesday night group. Yeah, and they're really fun. And there's also a Facebook Messenger group that goes with it. If you're not on Facebook, we'll figure something out. But if you are and you joined, find me over there and I'll get you in the group right away. And that's where we have daily support and daily, I check in with people. They support each other like crazy. And it's great. It's a beautiful thing. Yes. Anything else, you guys? Yeah, I think I'm trying to think which group has I don't know. I'm running out of topic here, and I'm running out of time soon too. So anything else you want to talk about, hit me up. Any issues going on with you? Shastina, let me know what your daughter says if you want, because I'm actually really curious what she's wanting from that. It sounds like it could be a good conversation for you guys, hopefully. Teflon, that's good, right? You just let them roll off. It's not magnet, it's Teflon. Like whenever and it can feel like that because the narc is more likely to come up and schmooze you. They're more likely to come up than some non-narc. Because they're out seeking. They're out seeking supply. So if you meet them and they're, let's see, whoosh, right off Teflon. Exactly. Non-stick. Jody, hello. Divorce ideas. Can you say more? What do you need? What about it? Divorce ideas. What do you need from that? I'm not sure how to answer that. Emily, the self-esteem looks good. Self-esteem, I need to change that, is done for right now. That right now we're doing finding your passion. The ones that have that, the groups that are on Mondays and Fridays are, they're not ongoing. The rest of the groups are ongoing, and that's my fault. I need to go in there and change that. I'll do that tonight. But it was good, and it will be back. It will be back in a couple months. Jonna says he could talk to a wall. About what? I'm lost. I think when I talk and then I lose you. I lose the train of the flow here. Shastina, Jonna, talking to Narcula is talking to a wall, isn't it? Right? Or an endless loop, right? Exactly. Or is that the Teflon reference? I don't know. But we're not magnets. Hello, Jonathan. You are here, albeit late. That's okay. Let's see. Oh, Jody says, I've been working for years. His opposing counsel has issues too. Oh, the passion one I like. Yeah, that's the one we're on now. We're a week in. So if you want to join that one, hit me up and I will take a week off. I'll take 15 off because you missed a week. So, and that one, let's see. Jonna, he just keeps talking too. I don't need to listen and he just goes on and on, right? No kidding. Can I sign up for that one? You sure can. Like I said, let me contact me and I can't refund. So contact me and I can invoice it minus the 15 because you missed a week, and that's okay. And that one's a real small group right now. That's okay, Jonathan. You were occupied with chili con carne. Sounds good. Shastina will let you know what she says. Good. Good. I hope that's a good conversation and not one that is super triggering or creates problem. I know, asking her nicely might and just curiously, hopefully is an okay thing. I think anybody have anything? Okay, Jody. Oh, you retracted your message. I'm trying to understand. I don't want to leave before I give you some ideas for divorce, and I'm not sure what the ideas for what part of divorce. Like, it is a good idea, right? but what part? And I forgot what you said there. Anything else, you guys? Trying to think of anything else that's coming up this week. I'll be back Thursday, hopefully. Trying. Same time. Okay, separate space has been helpful for divorcing. Yeah, being okay. All right, you guys, I think I need to head out here. And sorry, check-in time. And get with the next thing. I have group tonight, so I have to prepare for that. And unless anyone has anything that's a question. Whoa, what's a whoa? What's a whoa, Jonathan? What happened? Thanks. Says Jody. If you had a question, though, I'll wait a second. I'm just not clear on what you're asking about divorce. But I would love to help with what I can if you have it. Time went super fast. And I started at 4:30. I guess I could go on another 15 minutes. I just so today is my kiddo's birthday, so I'm trying to squeeze things in, and we're going to do a cake in a few minutes and birthday dinner. So it did trigger me at first, but whoosh, left Teflon kind of. Right? Exactly. Yeah. Oh, yes, please. Oh, I didn't know. That's okay. Happy birthday to my kiddo. Thank you. He is 13. Crazy. Right. Anybody else before I head out? Okay, you guys take care. Thank you for coming here and joining me and talking to me for the past half hour. And I will see you on Thursday. You'd watched the replay of Dana and Angie's. Good. I missed it today. I've been running like crazy today too. Anyway, you guys take care and have a good night. And I'll be back Thursday. If anyone has a topic that they would like me to start with, I'm super mom. I'm working on it. He says the other day, one of them sang a song about how mom, I can't remember the tune he sang. It was sort of superhero-y sounding. Mom is a superhero. Mom is super mom because she can do 500 things without going crazy. And it was like very kind of Bob Dylan. It was good though. So I can do 500 things without going crazy, but 501, watch out. Anyway, James, yes, enjoy your foot soak. Jonathan says, I was thinking there would be something you'd tie into, but it seems time has evaporated. What do you mean, Jonathan? Happy birthday to her, to him, but thank you. Sorry, I didn't specify. My boy. What do you mean, Jonathan, that you were thinking there's something that it would tie into? Oh, tie from Dana and Angie's stream. Oh, I would happily if I had seen it. And I didn't, though. I just am making up my own topics here as things come up and as I talk to people and people ask for them. So if anyone has anything that comes up during the week or anytime, you can always drop me a line and I will start with it if it works, right? Obviously I can't do them all, but I try. There's been some synergy going on, but if today's birthday boy time, yeah, no worries. Synergy with what? I don't understand. Thursday then, yes, a good one. It was Angie and Dana. Okay, well, maybe I'll go watch the replay tonight, later. I should do that. Okay, you guys, I'm going to head out. Good night. Take care. And I will see you on Thursday. Oh, synergy with all the life coaches. Past 3 weeks or so, y'all been on point. I don't know. I don't know what the synergy is. I kind of just do my thing. I don't know. I'm glad though. It's a good thing. Okay. You take care. Think about change. How can you make change in your life? How can you allow change and accept change? That's what we were talking about, Jonathan, when I came on. Um, how can, or where do you fear it? What do you need? What blocks are in your way that you need to get out of your way in order to make change? Because being open to change is like a receptivity to creating your own life, to creating something new for yourself, right? If we cling to things that are the old and the known always, I mean, of course, those things can be useful too, but if we're like so attached to them, we can't make the changes we need to make. So that's my point today. Jonathan says, okay. Your eldest has a really hard time with change and transition. That makes sense, doesn't it? It's there's like a relaxing that needs to happen, and there's something that we cling to that makes change really, really hard, and everybody's different. And I've talked to people who say, "But I'm adaptable. I go with the flow. This is me. I'm adaptable. I go with the flow. I take care of what's needed. Something's happening, bam, I'm on it. I do it. I do 500 things at one time without going crazy," as my kid says. However, that does not make me not afraid of change, because that actually has nothing to do with change, because that's just the way I operate, right? The change is in allowing a new belief and allowing a new way of seeing things, and allowing a new way of experiencing your life. Letting go of things like, well, we cling to abuse because it's change. When people can't leave, the fear of change is huge there, because we're clinging to belief that this is all there is, or whatever it is for you, whatever it is for the person. That there's different beliefs that could possibly be. I have to stop putting pens next to me, or just play with them visibly, because anyway, yeah. So clinging to the beliefs that are not allowing change in your life. Some beliefs are positive, but things that keep us bound to, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, things like that, that's not going to serve you ever in creating a positive life. So that's what I'm talking about with change and allowing it and accepting it. Play-Doh is a good idea. Or silly putty. But then I'd snap it. I'd blow bubbles with it and snap it. Play-Doh, I like that. I should get a little thing of Play-Doh. Stress ball. But okay. Anyway, so change, you guys, it's all good. We'll talk to you next time, Jonathan. Okay, just for the chat, if anyone has had problems with family. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you guys finish chatting till it times out, and I will talk to you Thursday. Take care. Good night.